there's no way you're going to stop this. It's like the creator itself has said, we're going to the next level, everything's going to be restored and, and healed. And this is where we're going, period. There's resistance is futile, you either get with the program or you're going to get off the earth, one or the other. And that's what I'm seeing in the big picture. And then we're watching all that unravel here on earth. And a lot of the chaos is part of the healing. We have to realize that the chaos is the old garbage being pushed up to the surface so we can see it, so we can heal it.
Oh my God, it's exactly what Thoran said to me. In 2018, when they contact me back, he said, we are here to, he said, clear up the bottom of the pond to make, he said pond in English to me. And we have another world, somebody else said the same things. We're clearing up the bottom of the pond. We're steering the pond to make the mud come at the surface, that everybody sees it. And then we can scoop it, they can scoop it and finally drink the clear water. What is he talking about? Well, I understood as time went by. The people needs to see who is their enemies and who are his allies. Who is the enemy and who are the allies? People need to see that in order to change, because it is all about a question of free will. Mm-hmm. You need to change yourself from within. If you are being saved, that's not the solution. It's not solving anything. It needs to come from within, an opening of consciousness, an awakening of consciousness, that suddenly you see what's going on, the breaking down of the matrix, the mind tricks, as I call it. So that's what he said. And that's what's being happening. And people need to see what's happening. And we're going to see more and more and more. And
I've seen it just all unfolding. And it's so obvious, and I've been waiting for this to happen for since the 80s, but it's finally coming about. But the, like you're saying, is until it gets personal, people don't do anything. And when they start looking around and they start losing their jobs and their loved ones and they see just everything going to hell, finally they're going to say, well, wait a second, we can't take this path. This is a downward spiral. And enough people, I think, have seen that now. So there's going to be a big push to put an end to the people that are trying to go into communism, trying to go into socialism. And it's amazing because I said, have you guys ever done any research on socialism and communism, and Marxism and where that's gone in the past? And, and they say, these whole things. And you look at these organizations, like Antifa and Black Lives Matters and everything. I go, so you guys are flipping out over the races on the planet now. What happens when a blue race comes or the feathered guys come, or the, I can go on and on, a green race or whatever, they're, what are you going to do with that? It's like, you can't even get together on this level. And that, but they don't realize that all of those divisions and all of those programs are all financed by the global elite, and they're put in place to do exactly what they're doing. So they are, I said, you're working for the very people you think you're fighting against. And you don't understand. You are working for your own demise and your own enslavement. That's what you're working for. And I don't care if you're purple or green or blue or black or white or red, yellow, it doesn't matter. Until you figure this out, all this, the one that's going to take these guys down is unity. When everybody gets together and chooses, universal peace and brother, sister love and individual freedom and prosperity for everybody, when we all make a choice that we're going to work towards that and not keep fighting and dividing each other, and we unify, it's over. And that's what needs to happen. There's no way around it. That's where things are going to go. And I think we have two choices right now. We either get with the program, the ascension process, or we're going to be taken out. And just to be blunt, if you're not frequency specific to what's unfolding right now, you're not going to be here. Neither is your kingdom, and everything you've gained at the expense of others is going to be taken from you and put back into the pool, basically. So that's where I see things going. I don't know. I'm sure you're probably getting something similar information.
Yes, similar information. There's a shift in humanity. Those who decide to ascend and follow the path of the future, the good timeline, the progressive timeline on which we stepped, and the other ones will just get stuck and stay there and just don't know what's happening, like zombies,
Yeah.
The thing is, we are in these bodies, in these avatars, which are not eternal. It's decaying. We're going to leave them at a stage. Those who have decided not to evolve, anyway, they leave anyway, and they come back, and maybe that time they will take the good timeline, So it's just postponing the evolution. I don't believe there will be people like saving themselves and others doomed forever. No, those who don't choose to take the shortcut, they will get there eventually. They just postpone their evolution, their awakening. It's just their path. They've chosen that. And Thorhan told me, he said, it's free will. You don't want the government to impose decisions, drastic decisions upon you. You want to be free to choose, and so do they. Don't do as the deep state does on these people. Try to convince them first. Speak why you think it's a bad idea to do certain things, and do your best. And if they still choose not to follow your advice, stop there. Respect their free decision, because that's the greater law of universe. It's everybody's freedom to decide.
Yeah, we call that the divine right to free stupidity. Divine right to stupidity.
Also, yeah.
It's kind of, it's kind of like, I always go, careful, you hurt yourself. Choose wisely, because there is an action reaction, and that's all being accelerated and sped up. So we really need to choose wisely in this process. And there is a place for the people that don't choose, they, like you're saying, it might not be their time, and that's okay.
That's okay.
Just stay out of my way. So but anyway.